Hey everyone, Kate here with another day in my life. Uh, so again, point of this blog is to track moods, and essentially like the havoc that my mental health wreaks in my life as well. So today, okay, how am I feeling? Well, let's start with the fact that I woke up from a very disturbing dream, which again was in regards to the second inpatient rehab that I had gone to. So we're going to have a whole conversation at some point about rehab and how, like, for me, they're not a good fit at all, especially when they're so ill ran and managed. I did post public Google reviews for the facilities that I had went to. And we'll talk more about them. I just need to really kind of look into whether or not I can name them, because I think that it is important for individuals with mental health to know what they're getting themselves into, because had I known, I wouldn't have gone that route, right? But then too, we have compliance with paperwork and documentation for disability and whatever, right? So it becomes like a double-edged sword, just trying to get the help that you need and remain compliant for these systems, whatever, that are essentially paying you. So anyway, yeah, so back to my mood for June 2nd, 2026, and waking up from a dream in regards to rehab, where this rehab in particular was just really devastating for me. It felt very unsafe, and it was a huge agitator to my mental health. Waking up from another dream like that, where essentially, one of the women was in that dream, and I'm becoming so agitated in the dream that I am starting to feel upset and scared because of how I'm going to react to her, which is not good. It's like I'm about to kick this bitch's ass if she doesn't, settle down. And so very frustrating to be dealing with waking up from a dream like that. And the good part about the dream was toward the end, I was like, I don't have to be in this situation. I'm going home. And once I had made that decision to go home and remove myself from that environment, I felt immediate relief, with some lingering, like, now I just have to protect myself and make sure she's not around me, because she was like such an instigator that even in my dream, she's there just constantly provoking this behavior that I don't want to be displaying at all in real life or even in a dream, right? So woke up from that, then got a phone call, and it's, how much of this do I want to go into detail about? The phone call was from the sergeant detective here in Colorado Springs in regards to a sexual assault case that I had contacted the police about immediately after it happened. And I'm just really kind of like blanking right now. I think a combination of that dream, the detective's phone call, like my brain is a hot mess right now. Like, I can't even function a drive to Xombie's appointment because, like, taking the wrong turn. I was like so confused for a moment. Like, I must have completely dissociated, which we all do when we drive from time to time, right? But I was literally like, where the fuck am I? What did I just do? Like, I'm clearly not in the right state of mind to even drive to an appointment that I've been to before. But I'm safe. I just took a wrong turn, basically. It's very annoying to be so flustered that, I can't even function a drive properly without, taking a wrong turn. It worked, though, because now I found a shortcut to the appointment, but that's beside the point. My point right now is that, it's 11:50 a.m. and I feel like my mood is shot for the day due to a dream And quite frankly, it's not the one dream, it's the fact that I've continued to have these, I don't want to say nightmares, but these dreams that linger with really gross feelings and uncomfortable feelings after I've woken up. So waking up from that again, and then also the call from the detective where basically, and I said this, you're going to honor their word more than mine, because they are going to be leaving this investigation as inactive open, which means they're done investigating unless any new evidence comes into play, which there's not any new evidence. This is what it is. And so it's just really upsetting to be dealing with all that. I do have a few errands we are running today. And then I'm going to have a chat with a friend that I'm really excited about. And we're going to get into all that too. And I really wanted to do more focusing on the things I still have in common with the Doing All the Things challenge from June of 2025. But as you can see, it's hard to even focus on that when every day is just kind of like, what now? What is going to, piss me off now? And then poor Xombie, I give him so much credit and I appreciate him so much, because, then I'm getting upset and I'm like, why aren't we leaving for the appointment, and kind of getting upset with him, and it's not his fault, and I am able to separate that. But sometimes just reacting to all this stuff is, there's a reason I don't have a lot of people around, and the very few friends, 2 of them that I do have, are kept literally at an arm's distance. One lives in a whole other state, and the other one I just don't see or talk to often. And that's because of my own, I just have major trust issues anyway. So here, this is my update so far for June 2nd, and hoping to get on an e-bike ride today. And you can even see my language is fucking slurred, right? Because I'm just trying to formulate words to create this video so that you all can see impacts of mental health, and then and tell me if you can relate, right? Because when you have more than one diagnosis, it really becomes a matter of is this from PTSD, because that situation really fucked me up, and continues to, quite frankly. Where's my fucking justice? I didn't ask for that shit. Anyway, sorry, just kind of my mind is going blank, and I think it's because I really don't want to be dealing with any of it, and I don't. Who wants to be dealing with it? That's why you give it to the authorities to handle appropriately. I'm so angry, and I might go public about all of it at one point, but I'm going to consult with a few other attorneys first, because I'm just pissed. And if I can at least explore a civil suit, that's what I want to do. And I want to put out there, these men are 2 high-profile men. They were, essentially the claims were substantiated through the committee that had to do the investigation, because CSPD couldn't, because of who they are. So, God, sorry, I'm just it's so upsetting. And that's just that situation, not the rest of my life and all the other bullshit, right? So, okay, plans for today. Going to the store, going to pick up my prescription for Zepbound. Now, mind you, I was very hesitant to do any kind of weight loss medication, but I'm at a point where I'm just you know what, fuck it. I work my ass off, and that, again, is apparent in the Doing All the Things challenge from June of 2025. But I struggle with maintaining a healthy weight, and I'm just done fighting everything, I guess. So I've hit all of my deductibles and said, I'm going to at least give this a try, and just see how it works. Why not, right? Why not? I'm going to make things a little easier on myself, essentially. That's the hope. So going to pick up that prescription, going to go on an e-bike ride, and hopefully maybe a small scooter ride too, because I do have 2 appointments tomorrow, TMS and therapy, that I want to essentially have transportation to, because I don't have a car. This is Xombie's car. And while I could use his car, I prefer to kind of take a more active route with those appointments, because sometimes that will be the only exercise I'm getting depending on my mood, right? So, oh, my mood. Fun stuff. But I do want to know, you know, how many of you out there can relate to overlying symptoms from different, you know, mental health issues or diagnoses, and not being able to really sort, okay, does this go here, does that go there, like which goes where? And at the end of the day, is it really that important? I don't know, probably not. I guess for me, I've just been this person so much of my life that it's almost like I thought that these diagnoses were essentially who I am, and they're not. And so that is another reason I asked in yesterday's video, like, who am I? And it's not a matter of me not knowing who I am, but to an extent, like, who am I when I'm not reactive because of my mental health? Who am I when I'm not ascribing myself to all of this shit that I thought was normal? And for me, it's normal because I've been doing it. But now to have an awareness, more so, I think for me, it's nice to be able to separate, like, oh, this is the BPD, or oh, this is the PTSD, or whatever, right? I know what anxiety and depression are, but even that took me until a couple of years to separate out. Even the dissociation, which I was like, oh, I love this. I don't feel anything. This is great, you know? And then once all that emotion comes back in, sick to my stomach. But I want to know how many of you can relate to, you know, not knowing what, like, why you're reacting that way, like which diagnosis does it go to, type of thing. What do you do to cope? Because right now I know I'm also like, damn, I want to eat all the things, like a hamburger, this, that, it's just not the thing. But anyway, Xombie came out from his appointment. I gotta go get him. So attempted breakfast at IHOP here, and I say attempted because this happened. So handsome.
Oh, thank you. Well, your eyes are beautiful for that reason you see me like that way. Do you know what does that mean?
What?
That expression, that's because you like to see everything is beautiful, you see me like that way.
Oh. No, you're beautiful. Not because I see everything is beautiful. Where's my food?
Oh, lectures, not many people are here. Oh, there we go. They're asking for it.
I just didn't want it to sit and get cold.
No, that's cool.
She had actually made yours with the batter. But so it's just a few seconds.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as it's cooked all the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, she switched it to the shell. That's why it took a little bit longer.
That's okay. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
It's like a runny omelette.
Oh.
Now, it doesn't help that the restaurant itself was pretty much trashed when we walked in. I mean, like, crumbs, food everywhere, tables sitting uncleaned that needed to be bussed or wiped down. Very much so turn off when employees are on their phones, even if just watching something while rolling silverware. Like, no, I don't want you touching your phone at all. If you're touching something I'm going to be putting in my mouth. So breakfast was a bust. I didn't have a single bite of my food due to how it was cooked, and the fruit was just like a mess too, like, and then my own anxiety with it not being clean from the get-go is like, just in my mind, nothing was gonna be right, and it wasn't anyway. But yeah, so that was breakfast. So I just feel so angry, right? Like, I'm angry in my dreams. I'm angry, like, just about the stuff going on in life. I think that what I've realized lately is I'm just so angry all the time, it feels. And it's just so upsetting to constantly feel like angry about what, right? And so there's the whole feelings wheel, and anger is a secondary emotion. So, like, what am I really, like, what's really going on? But I know I have a right to be angry. Oh, this traffic sucks. just so angry, and I feel bad for you, Xombie, because I think that I have to make a really conscious effort to say, like, I'm not mad at you, but you're the easiest person to be mad at, even if you've done nothing wrong, because you're tangible, you're physical, you're here. But that's not fair to you, and I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, I think ultimately I am just I'm angry, and it's not, and I think this is like the borderline rage that I always would read about and say, like, oh, that doesn't apply to me. But what I'm noticing, especially maybe as I'm sober, not drowning out that rage with alcohol or marijuana to calm down, is that, like, it's like rage. Like, I am fucking mad. I'm not just angry or mad. Like, I am explosive, right? Like, I'm not okay. I have to go home and not continue with our plans for the day, because I don't know what else is gonna set me off at this point even further, because I'm already, like, you know, and I just don't want to explode. I just want some peace, I guess. But yeah, I'm just pretty angry, and I do think that's the borderline shit. Okay, so I am going to make an omelet using the leftover jalapeno cheddar sausage from Mission Barbecue. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I am really still so, like, upset. And the reality is that, like, sometimes when this happens, I get so upset with myself for being, you know, so intense with my emotions, that this for me is essentially to where I think ultimately that suicidal ideation comes into play, right? Because it's just like, I can't handle myself and all these emotions. And essentially, like, because it seems like I just can't handle life. What kind of life is it to live like that, right? So, no, I'm not going to do anything. It's just, you know, thoughts that happen. And anyway, so I am home. I'm making my omelet after that horrible IHOP fiasco. And yeah, I'm just scrambling the eggs right in that pan. A runny omelet, like, give me a break. And no, I'm not going to record the whole video, so don't worry about that. Although, I have plenty of, you know, omelet videos, cooking videos on my What's Kate Cooking series. So if you're curious about what I do make, check that out. I also want to get the soup started. However, it's 1:26. So I am going to start my soup here soon too. That's going to take a couple of hours. But I just kind of feel like my whole day has been just, in a sense, like, thrown off now. And I think that's another thing. I really need structure. I need the plan to go accordingly. But we couldn't even follow the plan because I got too upset that I knew I just couldn't handle any more upsets, and I needed to come home. I knew I needed to eat. Speaking of eating, I think my fast was around 17 hours. And then I am adding the sausage here just to a pan that I put some butter in, and it's on a high heat. And I'm just doing that to get it heated up. I will be adding cheddar cheese to this omelet as well. Okay, check out that meat. God, it looks so good. It's gonna be amazing. In the meantime, I also wanted to talk about and address the extreme indecision that comes with mental health, right? So, I'm looking for it. So, I have been so indecisive lately, but also, I don't know, it's just like my mind can't handle processing anything else sometimes. So, like, any little thing is just too much. It becomes really hard to make a decision. And I think, you know, I'm not a fan of indecision. Who is a fan of, you know, not being able to make a decision? That's not fun. Especially when I feel like normally I can be pretty good about it. Okay, here we have the omelet I am making. We are going to flip it. Love it. And again, I don't like any brown egg when making my omelet, but check out how this sausage turned out. Oops, extra crispy. As I drop it all over the stove, just kind of like whatever. Okay, we're gonna put that in here. I'm gonna add some cheddar cheese and then yum. And then my breakfast will be ready, and I'm just working on that soup. Now I'm just gonna fold this omelet here in a moment. So it is 6:07. My mood is still shit. But I did make some soup with celery, carrots, a whole bunch of stuff I can't really name right now because, again, my brain is not wanting to function correctly. All right, so it is just past 6:30, 6:38. Hopefully we're gonna go on an e-bike ride here soon. We are finally going to go on our e-bike ride. It's like almost 7:30, and we actually are walking to the e-bike as I was having some issues previously and unable to walk for 2 weeks basically. So good to be back on my feet. Here's the e-bikes. Yay. We're gonna hop on. Check out this giant heart. How cool. And we are on our bike ride. Just hit Powers and we're turning around. This is Rock Island Trail. I think I may stop off at this really neat area we came across, but we're gonna we're gonna finish up our bike ride. So we are going to explore this really quick because I'm curious about it. And you find a lot of these old railroad tracks along this trail, which is pretty cool. But let's just do a quick little, what is this? Oh. Oh, so it's just like a little bench. Oh, okay. Oh. Well, this is cool. Oh. There's Xombie right over there. Oh, it's so nice up there. Oh, yeah. By the way, Bike Ride, such a great company, nonprofit. They supply these bikes that we rent. I'll try to get some more of this trail because it's going to be really beautiful as we get closer to the mountains there. Isn't it neat? Right?
Yeah, looks like go to the mountain.
And the sand is white.
Which is surprising because like it's in the middle of the city.
Right.
And something nice, especially these rocks there.
I know. It's cool, huh?
Which way you came down?
Let me show you. I mean, we could, of course, go the way we came, but what's the fun in that? Look at the pretty color, too, in the rocks. Yeah. And then I guess you could go down that one, but I found it easier to go down this one. Or was it that one? I don't remember. Yeah. What a great little spot. Oh, and the sun's starting to set. So we should have some really great color in the sky too on our ride home. So check out these clouds. Lately here in Colorado Springs, we've had like these clouds that are like an ice blue is the only way I can really describe them. And then here we have Pikes Peak. This is just such a great trail. Again, Rock Island Trail. I'll show you this little thing here. And by the way, I really think this does improve my mood quite a bit. We're gonna cross the street. Check this out. We have some deer here, a male and a female, I believe, because this guy, whoop, this guy has antlers, baby antlers, and she does not, from what I can tell. We saw them earlier. Look. The color in the sky is really exaggerated on this iPhone camera. But this is our view. Love it. Say hi, Xombie. Hey. Xombie found this heart here on our way home as we're walking home. That's cool. That was a good one. If you don't mind washing those workout pants. They're like marbly looking. Xombie is going to do laundry. He does the laundry, and I'm very thankful for that. Okay. Okay, thanks. So we did our bike ride, and that was good. I feel better. And the scenery was just awesome, as you guys could see as well. And there's also like the different smells out there that are really nice when you're riding along, and it's just, I do feel calmer now. And my mind doesn't feel as scattered. Yeah, but I say that and then I can't think of what I'm going to say anyway. But no, it was a good ride. We're just settling in now, and I'm going to have some tea, get this video edited and posted, and, you know, whatever. Again, at the end, I'll be leaving just the activity and meal information for today. Yeah, I mean, again, the mood's been kind of a mess today again. High irritability, dissociating, the brain fog, all that not so fun stuff to be dealing with. But again, some pretty high stress situations, waking up to a, you know, bad dream, and that intensity, and then the call from the detective, just a bunch of shit, right? So dealing with it, but I'm just ready for some peace and to not have a day where I'm like, I'm so angry all day, for sure. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. But hey, thank you everyone for watching. You know, as always, I want to hear the good from your day as well. So feel free to share that in the comments. Feel free to share how you cope with your mental health. Because trust me, today I was pretty tempted, and I have been, you know, like, oh, I kind of want to drink or I kind of want to smoke, but thankfully there's a break there now, like, and so I'm not giving in to those urges and temptations like I used to, and going strong with the practicing sobriety. At some point, it really is my goal to also share, you know, kind of a comparison of what am I still doing from what I was doing last year with the Doing All the Things challenge. Here's Xombie doing our laundry. Yay. Thankful for that. But, yeah, so we'll just, I don't know, because I'm like, I really don't want to post a vlog every day and just like, oh, I'm so angry and I'm so irritable, because that sucks. But then again, if that's what it is, it's what it is, right? So we'll just see how all this goes. Day by day is how I'm just going to play this out. So, oh my God, let's also, I know I keep saying bye as if I'm going to end the video. Apparently I'm not, but let's take a quick second to talk about this mascara, because if I'm not mistaken, I applied it Sunday evening, and I went swimming Monday morning for 30 minutes, did the sauna for 15 minutes, took like a 40-minute bath, and of course washed my face like this. And we can see that this mascara, it's now Tuesday evening, and it's still going strong. Like, I've not reapplied it, nothing. And it is Paris Hilton's mascara. I bought it on Amazon. It's a 3-pack. It's got the curling, lengthening, and volumizing. I don't know why I feel like I'm saying that weird. And initially when I had tried it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about it, because some of them, like one of them had a kind of a strong smell, and I'm like, is this even safe? Why does this mascara have a smell? But I mean, it's actually kind of cool. I'm really undecided on if I like it, because there is a convenience factor, right? And not having to apply your mascara every day, and also not being left with like the makeup you have to remove under your eyes, because it doesn't do any of that. So I don't know. Would I buy it again? I think I'm going to say yes, because it's just convenient, right? Not having to reapply the mascara all the time. So, and I was going to initially do a review on it, but when I used it the first time, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but honestly, I don't know. I'll take it, I guess. Today is just kind of a blur to an extent with certain things, because I was just so kind of like fixated in a sense, or thinking about so many other things today going on. And I did have a really good chat with my friend Carrie, and at some point that might all be posted, maybe even as podcast, I don't know. But that was good, and it was also a nice distraction from everything else to just, you know, have a friend to chat with for like an hour and a half. So thank you for that, Carrie. I appreciate your time. Yeah, so here we have it. Day 2, June 2nd, 2026. Have a good night, you all. I will see you tomorrow.